Good morning. There we go. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. I noticed there's Nazis in Sydney again. I love how everyone's pretending that they're not, like the communist governments are pretending that they're not communist governments. The Nazis are kind of pretending that they're not Nazis. And the Australians, unfortunately, are pretending they're not Australians. None of this is going to work because in Australia, it's too new. You can't have communism in these conditions, but you are still continuing to attempt it, and we are going to expose every single step of this. Like this, why did this father of three business owner decide to put his whole life on hold to document this? Because I saw what's happening, and it's one of the only ways to expose this slow timeline that they're using. Oh, well, why would he do that? Well, because that's what's expected of Australians to defend their country against this type of thing. Well, why didn't anyone else do it? Well, because Australia's not old enough, so we either have, like, if you were a really wealthy class, you kind of float around in Australia in a different set of terms. You've already, like, long since decided that you will just leave. You have enough resources to leave. So Australia is like a cruise ship to you. If you've been imported here, if you're, or if you're retiring, it's just, you know what I mean? It's not the same type of thing. You've seen your kids be sucked into this spell of pricing and commodities, not commodities, of consumerism. And what are you going to do? Australia doesn't have the hierarchy of titles that would be used to protect it. And so it is not being protected unless you self-identify and are in the right position and have the right, skills and things to do it. And that's what I've done. But there is no cost of living crisis according to a historical look at Australian history. There is no housing crisis according to a historical, accurate telling of Australian history. There can't be. There's no dispossessed underclass because that would only be the convicts. Sorry, there is one. There's the Aboriginals, but they're actually quite well remunerated for their dispossession. They've got to be the highest remunerated natural or, First Nations people in the world. The next dispossessed people would be the convicts, I suppose, who were convicts, who were then, in most cases, awarded large settlements of property. So if you're a family of, descendants of convicts, what could you ever have to whinge about? And then we start going into international affairs to try and actually establish who the underclass are. There is no underclass in Australia. It's artificial and it's self-inflicted, and it's actually caused by the government not keeping certain substances and keeping certain behaviours and certain examples out. You know what I mean? One of them being American hip hop, which was clearly a CIA organised crime effort to bring crack cocaine into certain areas in the United States to gentrify and remove their African American population. It's clearly that. How else could you explain it? We're not going down that road in Australia. It's like everyone I see doing any type of political, they've watched MTV and they've taken the temperature and they're guessing 90% of what they're doing, and it just can't work. This is what's called a speculative bubble in our property market system. The cost of living crisis is actually just an overexposure to materialism. and an underexposure to appropriate culture that the country had before. Like this, the wealthy in this country that usually had a lot of land, or they weren't the wealthy of Abu Dhabi. But there's a lot of them here. There's a lot of wealthy Indian people that have come here, and they've misread the room. Anyone with wealth that's come to Australia in the last 100 years, you've misread our culture. And our culture is unwavering. And this is the problem, is it doesn't affect us, or like it's you're all exposed to this metropolitan Sex and the City, fill in the blank, and that's one class, and then there's another class that's exposed to this, African American hip hop consumerism, and then there's a weird type of like Desperate Housewives consumerism and materialism, and none of you are sheep farmers and in clearing land out in or gold mine. Like, do you know what I mean? So none of it makes sense. It's different when you have like, and what it exposes is it's just these previous communists, whether it's the Soviet Union in Russia or the Chinese Communist Party, projecting their strategies that did work in those regions. Because Russia and China, I don't know if you've heard this, but Russia and China, pretty fucking old. They're pretty old places. They had massive like peasant classes and all these things. So they could sell them the cost of, you've got to come and experience this city. We're not like that here. The people that bought their way here, they were like gentlemen farmers. That's a lot of the reason why we stuffed it all up. They weren't agrarians. They were like lords and gentlemen. Like, there were this class of English people that came here and had all of a sudden had access to huge tracts of land that they mismanaged massively. And then other people came here to get work, but they were all paid for their work, and they were paid a lot less in comparison, and they had access to a lot less things. And look, they had their like ups and downs, but it wasn't like this. This is the perpetual motion machine that the Labor Party is trying to sell you. It's like they want to give people more things, to put more pressure on a certain aspect of Australia's economy and housing market and employment market, that just makes the problem worse. And then meanwhile, they're ignoring all the actual real issues and the real opportunities for positive impact into the country, because they're going to inevitably, there's a conflict there. It's like, well, yeah, we can't teach every little, Sally and Becky and Susie that they're going to be the next Sex and the City girls and go to New York, which is now basically going to be ruled by fucking Mohammed al-Qaz bin Laden. We can't. Do you see what I mean? That experiment, that global financial experiment that we were all raised within, has failed. It has failed catastrophically. And we're not subject to it here. We have the same thing in front of us in Australia in 2025 that we had in 1925. It's no different. It's very new. We've just got here. That's from me. My family got here 180 years ago. We've just got here. There's a couple of cities. Yes, they're pretty good. We've got roads and things. Well, wonderful. We still haven't sorted out this farming thing. And not even farming thing, this land use thing. And we have a bullshit, like a fucking astronomical amount of land that has been like held up in these kinds of either in families or in governments or in all this stuff, and then and then it's being forced to live this Sex and the City, New York metropolitan fucking marketplace thing, so that no one is broken out of the spell like it's the Emerald City. There is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hectares, and there is new technology so you can like build places, do all these things. This is ridiculous. It's why they can't do anything, because they're just like, they know it's a scam. What are they going to do? You know what I mean? If I'm still here every day, that means they have decided that it's in their interest to not fucking, provoke me into going to court. I just keep pushing them back. I'm like, hey, I'm going to fucking explain this to the Supreme Court. I'm going to explain this to all the courts, and you're going to lose. And some of you are criminals, but they keep going. And so in my mind, that tells me, well, they're going to keep going until violence. Do you know what I mean? So this is the moment. This is violence onto me. I'm just documenting it. Every day where my pathway forward to live as Australians have lived for the last 200 years is blocked by a bunch of pretend Sex and the City fans that want to fucking, align with some communist fucking bullshit coup that's going on in New York City. Like, fuck New York City. You know what I mean? Fuck it. I can't wait till a bunch of Midwest fucking crop dusting pilots start driving their fucking planes into the fucking World Trade Centers. Like, that place is going to be in flames in about 20 minutes. Why would you want to live there? It hasn't worked. And it's definitely not Australia. There is no part of Australia that looks or acts like New York City does. You know what I mean? There's one thing, in my opinion, that New York City got right, and that was rollerblades. That's it. Go and get you. If you need to fucking snap out of this shit, I went rollerblading yesterday. It was amazing. You know what I mean? I was sitting there thinking I was putting lipstick on, and I was thinking that I was a girl, because I was getting drawn into the fucking Sex and the City, Eli Lilly fucking pharmaceutical fucking, yo-yo scam, which is what it is. It's like, why did all the kids have fucking yo-yos? Periodically, and then marbles, and then fucking Pokemon cards, and then rollerblades. Perfect example there, rollerblades. Hanson. Bop big top I do. Because people in that place in New York decided to spend money on the marketing, and then that distributed around the world. It must have been so efficient. Sorry. Like, imagine the type of efficiency we're talking about, where you could get the whole world, the whole English-speaking world, hooked on fucking Pokemon cards and yo-yos and rollerblades. It's crazy. But what happens to the human system, the human mind system, is I was pretty content when I was a young fella. So I was young, and I was weirdly lucky enough. My dad used to breed dogs, like deerhounds and things, and he had these kennels. So we had this big concrete pad, basically, with a roof on it. That was the old dog kennels that my father used to use. So we could go first rollerblading and then skateboarding in this, and I had like a little skate park there. Now, I was pretty happy. I was pretty happy rollerblading around and then later skating. I shaped my worldview in those years. And then, unlike a lot of the Sex and the City abortion crowd, or the crystal meth, which is our version of the crack crisis, same reason. It's the same attempt of gentrification that was used it was literally the same. They're like, well, just take it off the fucking, CIA is just basically like, we'll get it off our bookshelf and we'll send it to Australia and we'll make it this kind of underground hip hop. And it worked like fucking crazy. But it's like, we've got all that residual baggage. So unlike the Sex and the City crowd, I had children when I was 20. So that stamped in finality into it. I was in the cohort, just like the hundreds of years of Australians before me. I projected my lifestyle and my children's lifestyle at age 20, and then got to work trying to achieve this thing. And so what did I grow up with? I'd grown up with a nice bit of land with lots of options, a pretty old rundown house and a pair of rollerblades. That's it. A bodyboard. That's kind of it. I didn't go down the pathway of all the bullshit. And so when I'm reactivated into that, it becomes very clear to me what's happened. It's like, and I think it's like this is a screaming. Basically, this is a screaming air raid signal sound alarm. Sorry. Which used to be hand wound. I'm going to go buy a few. And if you're a member of the Labor Party, this is going off non-stop now until your house ends up in flames. We're giving you the fucking warning. Because your latest marketing scam has just cooked the whole thing. It's all in fucking flames. You've literally been mutilating and sterilizing children, and you fucking held the world hostage. We're going to kill every single last one of you in the fucking streets. You're all about to fucking be dead. It's time to go to your fucking representative in the state and say, I'm out of here, goodbye, grab your fucking shit and get the fuck out of Dodge, change your identity, fucking disappear off this rock before we fucking hunt you like fucking ravenous fucking dingoes arguing over a fucking leg of an emu in the middle of the desert. We're going to fuck you up. Every single way. If you're in the fucking street and you see a bunch of us, you're dead. Basically, you're a fucking dead man walking because this fucking bullshit is coming to an end. We will cut all the communication lines between every other financial district, and then you're stuck in Australia with a bunch of Australian fucking lunatics that are very pissed off that they aren't allowed to rollerblade anymore and that they want, our fucking children to mutilate their fucking bodies, to fucking endlessly spend their fucking hard-earned fucking franchise Taco Bell fucking wage on bullshit when they live in the largest fucking landmass of degraded fucking land that they should be getting paid to go out and fucking recover and explore. But they're not, because we have a communist, Chinese plugged in fucking bullshit little cunt, Roger Cook, sitting in front of his big fucking red sign with a gigantic target on him. I guarantee you, if you clock that cunt, there's $30,000 roos fucking sitting in your fucking pocket the next day. And that applies to every single one of the hierarchy of the West Australian Labor Party. If you right now get the fuck out of there, if you say, I don't want to be in the fucking West Australian Labor Party anymore, they tricked me, they fucking harassed me, they fucking did whatever, and I was all wrong, then get out, get yourself a pair of fucking rollerblades, rollerblade, just film yourself rollerblading along the fucking coast there, which even along the coast, it's like, do you know how much land there is there? This is the stupidest fucking bullshit coup that has ever existed in the world. It is so frustrating. Like every day we tell them, every fucking day we tell them, and every day they continue to fucking act as if they're the state government. You're not the state government. You can't run a state government on fucking bullshit. You've broken every single fucking international, domestic, fucking national, federal, fucking state, local government, the fucking law that there is. You're a bunch of fucking behind enemy lines, Chinese communist supporters that are going to be fucking shot in the streets. I cannot emphasize that enough. You need to start listening. I know that I'm just a random dude on the internet and I don't have any followers, but I can guarantee you that this is going to happen. Okay, we're not in political territory anymore. We're not in status quo, normal fucking. Oh, this is just like Richard Court and fucking Jeff Gallup. No, fuck no, we're not. We're not. You mutilated children. You sterilized the children. You brainwashed fucking children. You tortured children for fucking 2 years in masks and fucking split up families and arrested fathers and all this shit. You're all going to be fucking dead. Okay? You're all going to be dead. There's going to be no safe fucking place. Think about Desi Freeman, right? That's one fucking bloke who shot 2 police officers, and think about what happened there. All of the West Australian Labor Party as they stand right now, you are all enemies of the entire federal government of Australia, and you are now classified as on the run. You are fucking out of control, lunatic fucking coup fucking communist fucking cocksuckers, and we're going to fucking get you. Right? So just hand yourself in. It's easier. It's easier than this. You know what I mean? This gets worse every day. The only chance you have is like, just because we need you all to hand yourselves in so that you can all then do pass the parcel and start telling us who the fuck told you, who informed you, who instructed you, who did this, who, so when we go into fucking Beijing, we know who to fucking get first. We know how to fucking ring around their fucking rosy. Okay? You're all on the wrong fucking country and the wrong rock to be playing this shit. And we're going to fucking start killing you. Okay? That's how it's what we're here to do. It's why there's this much preparation. We knew you were going to do this. We've documented you doing it, and now you're there and you've lost. You have absolutely no way of succeeding in what you're trying to do, but you're still trying to do it. And I think the reason is because you've blocked me. I think the reason is because you've blocked me. You've decided to not listen to me. You've continued down this thing. So you've closed in your sphere of influence, which is like if this was a Tony Robbins fucking thing, that'd be okay, you know, but it's not. It's a state and it's a country and it's an international situation right now. So those types of things, they're not valid strategies, right? And it's like, how clever is it that we've decided to do this? Because every day we just keep presenting this to you, and you do not get it. Then we expose you more. We back you right up into the dustiest fucking corner, and then we arrest you all, and this is what's going to happen. So for me, it's like, it's weird. It's like every day I'm telling these people, because I don't know, like Roger, he might have started off as a patriotic Australian. He might be, he's deep in some type of brainwashed Sex in the City, Muslim Brotherhood fucking, gangbang fucking cult. Pharmaceutical cult. He's probably like on 4 medications for his anxiety, his high blood pressure, his fucking whatever, multiple personality disorder, whatever the fuck he's got going on. And he's decided that he lives in a fucking in a small little reality where he can use Facebook tools to manage a state. And I think it was this John Kerry, is that his name? Waving a fucking child mutilation flag while fucking complaining about somebody ribbed him for a bestiality joke about his dog and is acting as if the whole world needs to stop. It's like, do you understand what you've done to the people of this state? Like, do you understand? Do you understand, like, psychologically, what has been done, what has been documented that you've done to try and attempt this, I don't know, this ragtag fucking team of Chinese Muslim fucking communist pharmaceutical warlord Genghis Khan type shit? But it's clear that you are just continuing down. You don't understand. Like, how can this go forward? It's because the people you've brought in, they don't understand. They think that this is the place that they left. You know what I mean? And this is the problem, is it can be. And it's like, you're forcing us, rather than having legitimate public political discussion, by blanking us out, by ignoring us and blocking it and ostracizing Australians, the most Australians among you, more than likely, you've left us no choice but to continue this. So we're just going to continue pushing here and then saying, hey, we can become fucking Argentina or fucking, Rio de Janeiro or Buenos Aires or fucking Venezuela, like that. It's just a couple of fucking notes passed around the back fucking bike shed, and this place turns into that. So why, what is the strategy? Every day that we go forward, it's like this. A bunch of Australians cannot be ruled by a puppet fucking Chinese fucking premier, because the Chinese don't understand us enough. You've got to deeply understand the people to rule them like that. You know what I mean? They rule their people. They rule the Chinese people because they're Chinese and they understand them. The Russians in the Soviet Union, they ruled over, like Stalin ruled over the Russians because he understood deeply the Russian psyche. So he could micromanage. You don't. You don't understand. You're a mishmash. You can tell that you're being led by the Democratic Party in the United States, the Chinese Communist Party in China, and whatever fucking scrap of the Soviet Union is pulling the strings in Russia. And it's all mixed messages, right? And when it comes down to it, no one's going to follow any of you into that fucking pathway. And every single day I stay here is to try and prevent myself going down the failed path of those fucking hideous dictators that led to those catastrophic fucking situations like fucking World War II, like the Soviet Union, and like fucking Mao's China. I don't want any of that. I want Australia to continue on its unimpeded fucking evolution and its journey as part of the British Empire. I'd actually quite like America to realize their fucking mistakes and join us again. And then we can all settle the fuck down and play a game of cricket and stop trying to fucking undermine the value of our regions by this communist delusion. Communism is not communism unless you're fucking getting a bowl of rice. That's it. It works there. So even there, it's like, we're going to do communism. Well, we better fucking go to the fucking bowl of rice communism pretty fucking quickly. I'll go whichever fucking way I need to. And then right when we win, I'll be like, right, fuck this bowl of rice shit. Let's go fucking back into capitalism. Whatever the fuck I need to do to fucking beat all of you fucking dickheads, I'll do it. So stop. Right? There's no bourgeois fucking communist fucking hipster fucking yuppie bullshit iPhone carrying fucking communism. It doesn't work. You can't, you can convince people to go to fucking Taco Bell on an iPhone or to fucking, I don't know, vote for whoever hipster fucking independent Greens, whatever you can do on an iPhone because you can slowly just, but that's one box on a fucking thing. You can't convince a large portion of the population to operate in off-radar fucking guerrilla warfare via an iPhone. It won't work. But that's what lives in the heart and the soul of the Australian people, the real Australian people. And so we're already doing that. And I'm just warning you that we're going to continue doing that. You've crossed every fucking line there is. There's no mediation here. Every line's been crossed. You've fucked everything. We've got fucking 4 or 5 years of documented torture and torment that you've brought to the Australian people. You've, undermined our democracy. You've put a fucking big black mark on this country that I love, and the empire that I love, and the whole thing. Far bigger than the Aboriginal thing. You know what I mean? The Aboriginal thing was par for the course. Any single fucking region would have done that. We stood proudly that we did things better and differently as British people. But now you've fucked that. Because you've tortured and fucking tormented and, sterilized and done all this hideous fucking shit on your own population. Using tools that you fucking bought off the fucking shelf from fucking downtown Beijing. You're all a bunch of fucking cunts. I don't live in the Australia of the cities. I don't live in the Australia of fucking any of this. I live in fucking Ned Kelly Bushranger fucking Wonderland, and that's where I'm gonna fucking stay. And if you've just got here recently and you think that fucking this government can protect you, I can assure you it can't. It doesn't. It is just walking morons down a pathway which leaves us constantly on the line of violent retaliation. That's not a government. That's like it. That's a fucking tenant that is squatting in your house. So any of you investment property owners, right? If you've got investment properties, well, get used to having someone in your fucking house that you can't get rid of. You know, any fucking people with children at school, get used to those people being able to fucking prescribe and fucking describe and fucking groom and whatever your children in the fucking school. This is it. It's a nuisance that is being allowed to continue. But it's no more. No fucking more. By me here saying this, you've crossed the line where we're constantly at the point of violence. Constantly. Not like some Australian federal police fucking investigation into what the Australian... No, I'm telling you, we're already fucking there. You've gone past it. Everything that makes up this country, you have squandered and you've fucked and you've destroyed in your attempt to just dull the senses of the Australian people into being spoon-fed this shit. And they will not fucking take it. At any point, you can legitimize all this sick and have a conversation and go back to politics. But we're going to continue to drag out the 5 years of evidence against you. So you know you can't do that. So by fucking proof, you are keeping the Australian people in a situation that is best described as a hostage situation. This isn't, however many hostages taken by Hamas. This is an entire country, an entire state, in my case here in WA, and most of the country is being held in the urban areas, held hostage by this Labor Party's attempt to create a bourgeois fucking communist model in which the young people of the country are basically demanded to kill, torture, invade their elders and the actual backbone of this country in exchange for fucking Nike shoes and fucking crushed avocados and fucking bubble tea. I don't think so. And bullshit education that's worthless in this fucking new paradigm of artificial intelligence and systemic thinking and all these things. Like, this is the definition of a Ponzi scheme. And so rather on this day, although, my angers are obviously rising, rather on this day than fucking, instruct the Australian people to violently overthrow this government, I'm going to instruct the people to just continue to lean on this Ponzi scheme and wait for the inevitable implosion that's coming. If you've got $100,000 of debt for an education that's not just valueless, like it's not just worthless, it's actually part of an organized international pharmaceutical or medical fucking conglomerate cult that was formulated 100 years ago as part of some New York, oligarchs fucking intergenerational financial planning system that no one has fucking thought to destroy. We are so far down in the weeds, conceptually speaking, right? And there is nothing you are holding on to. Everything is valueless. It was told by the WF you were going to own nothing and you're going to be happy. It's like, well, they got half of that right. You definitely fucking own nothing. In most cases, some of the most highly educated people that have been resting on their laurels in this country, you own nothing, not even your education. Your education is a complete fucking lie. Your education is only good for one thing, which was participating in this international attempted, medical fucking revolution or this medical industrial military complex that has failed. So the most dangerous fucking item that you can probably have going forward is a medical diploma, especially in industries like psychiatry. You know, and think about, is your mortgage backed on that income? Is your mortgage, well, all of this is going to explode. You know, we don't need these fucking industrial shopping center fucking hospitals in this country. And just to end this with a little fucking anecdote, the only fucking union job I've ever done where I participated in a CFMEU contract was Fiona Stanley Hospital, in which I was basically harassed and fucking mobbed by the entire fucking crew of that fucking unit because I wore different color fucking shoes. So that tells you the fucking mentality of these fucking grubs. And then weirdly, at the same time as that, I was beaten almost to death by 20 individuals and then fired a week after that, or made redundant, as they call it in the CFMEU. There is no fucking grubbier fucking organization in this fucking country than the CFMEU. And this is what this fucking cohort relied on to get here, but it's all fucking gone and dead in the fucking water because they're absolute fucking maggot scabs, the lot of you. And you should all fucking jump off the fucking multiplex buildings that you're working on right now. This is the fucking most disgraceful, most fucking hideous thing. It makes what your fucking ancestor convicts fucking whatever did look like fucking charity work. Use a fucking grubs. You've misread the Australian fucking thing. You don't understand. You think that the monarchy, the fucking all these things is some fucking knobhead in England. No, it's not that. It's a fucking gigantic fucking hidden structure that is fucking meticulously organized and will fucking route and reroute all of your bullshit fucking bogan fucking communist crap at every fucking turn. It's time the Australian people learn what the fuck they've been exposed to for the last fucking 5 years and start actually being freed up to fucking, to relieve themselves of this bullshit Ponzi scheme that has been thrust upon them and their children for the last 50 years. It is all a fucking lie. Go and get yourself a fucking pair of rollerblades and fucking wake the fuck up, you fucking maggots.